Hi Stampers, it's Meg here and it is Friday, woo woo. All right, I know you're all excited. It's also celebration. Fridays and celebration are like bonus days, right? So the stamp set that I'm gonna show you is Snailed It. It is from the new January through June mini catalog. And I'm going to use some designer series paper. I'm going to use some Stampin Blends. I'm going to use the dies that go with the stamp set and of course the stamp set. I think you're gonna like it. It's kind of a cute one. So, all right, you guys ready? Let's get stamping. Actually, before I do that, let me just show you really quickly where this is in the catalog. I have my tabs all marked on my catalog so I can find each suite relatively quickly. So here is the Snail Mail suite. Now the colors that I'm gonna use actually didn't come from the designer series paper. So one thing you maybe haven't seen yet, each of the suites has a very specific little box that tells you what colors are included in it. I just realized my hearts aren't here. That's okay. Anyway, the colors that I'm using actually come from the little Valentines, and you might have overlooked these if you thought, oh my gosh, I don't send kid Valentine cards, but the sweet little Valentines are super cute. And I'm gonna show you a sample of a card that I did with one. So this is my Sweet Valentine Snail Mail. This was a demonstrator swap, another great reason to be a demonstrator. A demonstrator swap that I did, and basically from this little package, here, I'll turn you guys down this way now. From this little package, what I did was I took the cards and I used almost all of them. There we go. I took one of the cards and I chopped it in half, and then I used this striped piece here. Now, this striped piece, I didn't cover up all of it, so I kind of left it the way it is. But I had another striped piece here that I was going to layer with one of these pieces like this, and then go ahead and layer that on a card. And you can see how pretty that is, a really easy, quick card. So what I did though was I cut out pieces with the die set, the snail dies, of which there are very many. I cut this giant postage stamp out from the snail die, and then these little mushrooms, because I figured no one's gonna need to know that I saved all those pieces. And I did save some of this. So what I did was I used the postage stamp punch, and I punched out, I'll flip it to this side so you can see, I punched out these pieces here so that I figured I'd have those for another project. So that you may see them coming in a project sometime soon. So, all right, let me get these sweet little cards out of the way. Oh, and then of course you have the envelopes left, including their pretty foiled, there you go, their pretty foiled lining. So, all right, so back to our snail stamp set. I have, let's see, a piece of Whisper White cardstock here. And I'm gonna do some stamping and some quick coloring. And I might not color all of it with you since I think we've done some, you probably saw our donkey card earlier this week. But I'm going to stamp our little guy, and you'll notice, okay, hold your breath, it'll be okay, I promise. This stamp is this stamp, and you'll notice here that there's something different about mine. Deep breath, take a deep breath. I cut off the greeting with a pair of scissors. Now, if you cut your stamps, you kind of, at your own risk, but basically what I did was I made sure to keep my scissors very much vertical, because you don't want to twist them and then undercut your stamp on either side. So keep your scissors perfectly vertical. And I just figured I was gonna use this image a lot more without the snail. So I might wanna stamp it on like a card or something. So I figured he would be fine without his extra little message. And the die cuts out just the snail, as you'll see. So, and then I need some of these toadstools. That's the word I was looking for earlier. And I am going to need also this little word bubble, which honestly could be like a "you are here" marker, right? Map marker. Okay. And then I have a piece of the designer series paper, and I brought all of this here so you could kind of see the patterns of the paper. So there's 2 sheets each of 6 different colors, or 6 different patterns in the paper. And let's see, I must be missing one of them. Oh well, anyway, you kind of get the idea. Or was that 6? It's really cute paper, and it coordinates with the pieces. So I'm gonna actually use this here. And this is kind of a magic size. This is a 3x4 card, which is one of my faves. And oh yeah, I see the other paper. Here's the one that you're missing because I haven't, there we go. You can see that, okay? And this one actually matches the die set too. So let me grab one of these dies and I'll show you here. You can go ahead and put your die right over the paper and you can cut those images out. So that is, I remember like whoosh, big explosion, exciting when Stampin' Up started doing that on some of their papers. Okay, so this piece of designer series paper is 3x4, which means it's a great size because you get 12 of them out of one sheet of designer series paper, so very efficient. And I mounted it on a 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 piece of cardstock, which is really easy. You take your cardstock, you slice it in half at 4 1/4, and then you get 6 of these little guys. So it's a great way to layer some really easy cards. And I'm gonna pop this up here on Stampin' Dimensionals, and then go ahead and peel this backing. And then as soon as this is done, we're gonna start some coloring here, okay? All right, so this is gonna go in the center of our card, and that is gonna be our card base, so we're gonna work with that. All right, back to our guys here. I have Calypso Coral light marker. I have Melon Mambo light and dark, and I have a Pool Party light. And I'm gonna start with our snail here. He's gonna get, or she, I guess I shouldn't, I don't know. Is it a he or she? If you have a thought or a preference, leave a comment. Anyway, I'm gonna color our snail, and I'm gonna color just a little bit extra here on the snail's tummy, there. And then I'm going to take my lovely lipstick, and I remember talking about coloring recently with the Stampin' Blends in the way that things grow. So I'm gonna kind of color in a circle here. And we'll do a little bit on our envelope. And then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add a little darkness along the line and kind of where his shell hits his body, and maybe a little bit along the bottom. There we go. So there we have our quick colored snail. I'm going to go ahead and do the same with our toadstools here and our circle. And then I'm gonna go ahead and use our snail, circle, and toadstools die and cut all those pieces out. And through the magic of television, we have, ta-da-da, there are all of our pieces ready to go. And the other thing that I cut is this envelope die. So this is in the snail mail dies, the snail dies. And it is really, really cute. And you can do it either without a window, or you can use this extra little piece here to cut a window, like if you wanted a window envelope. So let me show you what I did with that. Here is the one. I went ahead and put the window in it, and I'm gonna fold it on the score lines. And we have to assemble our little envelope here, and then we'll do that, and then I'll let it dry, but I'm gonna show you a trick for doing that. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is get these pieces all folded, so it's gonna stick like this. Okay, see how this works? I'm gonna bring back in our green lid glue, or multi-purpose liquid adhesive, as it's called in the catalog. And it is definitely my go-to for little fussy things like this. If you can see the glue, then there's enough, okay? I'm gonna pop this down one side. I'm gonna put one more dot of glue on the top. If you're not sure where to put the glue, do like a practice fold, see where it's gonna get covered, and then go ahead and add in your glue. Okay, watch, I didn't do it. No, I did it in the right place. Okay, now you know this glue doesn't grab instantly, so you could sit here for a while, like a minute or so, or you can take the clever clasps that we featured with our strawberry box bags from the catalog, and they're super useful too. I'm just gonna let this dry for a little while. Ta-da! So then I don't have to worry about it. All right, yeah, here's the little, they come in silver and in gold. Very cute. All right, so we have our snails and pieces ready. And then I'm actually gonna cut one more piece. There are 2 of these little tiny heart dies. And if this looks familiar from my love pieces, I'm gonna go ahead and pull out one more piece. Almost dropped that in my ink. I know Tanya, that makes her nervous. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and add this to our card. And then the last thing I'm gonna do is, I'll bring this back here since we're done with our magic of television. I need that You've Got Mail. I'm gonna stamp it on here. Let's see, twist, twist, tap, tap on my memento pad. Let's get it a little bit straighter. Okay, that one's good, I'm happy. All right, I'm going to cut it apart. Okay, let's see. On my sample, I cut it into a couple pieces, but I'm not gonna do that with this one. I'm just gonna do it all at once. So I'm gonna trim right along it. Let's see, am I happy with that? No, I like it separate. So I'm gonna make my mail a little shorter. Okay, now, oops, I just dropped the word mail in my ink pad. Did it survive? Oh yeah, it did okay. All right, so now I'm gonna trim the ends. See, that ink pad did get me. Oh my goodness, everything wants to jump in the ink today. All right, so I've got these pieces, and the easiest way I find to attach them is to go ahead and stick the dimensional on the back of the mail here, like that. I just can't hold on to anything today. Whoops, and I just stuck it to my paper. Oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. You got mail. I'm gonna take that and lay it on top like so. So now we have our pieces reassembled, but with the really nice cut corners there. Okay, so I don't think anyone will actually even notice that they're cut necessarily. Okay, and then we want our greeting to be on our, we're gonna put it on our little word bubble here. And then right underneath that is going to go the heart. So you know what, we'll use a mini dimensional, I think. I think we've got enough space. Let's see. If it overlaps a little, it'll be okay. Oops. It can't stick out past the edge of the heart though. All right, so got that pulled on there, and then check out that glass. There we go. Yes, okay. Word bubble, you've got mail. Okay, now how is this all gonna go together? I think we can take our clip off. There we go. And we are going to set a little scene, a little snail scene. So we have our envelope, and we're gonna pretend that our snail has crawled out of his envelope, okay? So he's gonna go on there like that. And where is he crawling? Well, along the floor of the forest or whatever. So we're gonna add our toadstools there. Now, I got this far and I thought, you know what, that's cute, but it looks like he's kind of floating in the middle of nowhere. So I wanted to add some bottom line. So I took a piece of this designer series paper, just one squiggle strip, and we're gonna layer this underneath that whole thing so that it gives us a setting, so our snail is not just floating in the middle of the air. I don't know about you, I'm not fond of the idea of snails floating in the middle of the air. I guess I shouldn't think about snails too much in detail anyway. Okay, never mind, ignore the snail. Well, don't ignore him, he's cute. I don't know. I don't love snails in my garden, but I do love snails on cute stamp sets that bear mail. Okay, so we cleared that up. All right, so I'm gonna layer our envelope here, and I put some Greenland glue on, which doesn't grab instantly, like I said, so you wanna give it a minute to really solidify. I'm gonna pop a Stampin' dimensional here on the back, and I love the way this envelope has little stitching on the edges to make it super duper darling and just kind of a standout because it really shows off where the envelope folds are, okay? He's kind of cute like that actually, but I really am fond of the toadstools that go with this stamp set. So I'm going to add them. I'm not gonna pop them up because I want them to float into the background just a little bit, right? They're background toadstools, like, you know, just for effect. Okay, so I'm gonna stick them down, and then our You've Got Mail bubble that I am going to pop up with a Stampin' dimensional because I want that to be right here, okay? So there is our very sweet You've Got Mail snail card. So it's a little on busy side, but you know what? I think he's cute. He can carry it off. So I hope that you will take a look at the You've Got Mail, snail mail suite and all of the fun pieces. Those little resin hearts I used a ton of on all of our strawberry projects. Remember this guy's here. So you could pull those resin hearts. They come in white and red back and use them on your version of this card too. But in the meantime, really, I love the way the dies come together to make a really fun scene and he's a cute snail. So, all right, that's it for today. Happy Friday. It is a holiday on Monday, so I'm not gonna have a video, but I'll be back on next Tuesday, whatever that date is, too far in the future to think about. Anyway, it's Friday. Who cares what day it is? So I hope you guys have a great weekend. I hope you have some fun crafting plans ready, some fun things to do, projects to work on, wish lists to write. That's how my weekend is often. And yeah, if you have any questions about celebration or about projects that I've shown or products, let me know. I just had a question the other day from somebody who was looking for a product or project that we did back in Holiday Helper. So I sent her a link to that so she could find it. If you're ever looking, you can always use the search feature on my Facebook page easily. So if you're watching this on Facebook, there's a little search bar at the top and you can use that to search for whatever you're looking for. Like if you remember it was a Post-it note project, search Post-it note. And if that pops up, it'll show up there for you. You can also scroll through the thumbnails for all the videos. So on YouTube, you can look for my playlists, the LovenStamps playlist, and you can find the playlist that you want, and all the videos will have thumbnails there. Or on Facebook, you can also find on the LovenStamps Facebook page, right at the top, there's that line of menus. Excuse me, one of them is for, I think it's media and then videos. Anyway, something like that. And you can click on that and find the thumbnails for all of those there. And there's also playlists on Facebook. So anyway, thank you guys so much for spending time with me this week, looking at Celebration and January through June mini catalog. And like I said, hope you have a great weekend and I'll talk to you soon. Happy stamping.